Yo, what is up guys, I'm here hitting up with a new CZN video, this time with the Yuki guide. If you're curious about how my summons went, go check it out on my channel. I uploaded a summon session video, you will see it for yourself. And hey, in case you're new, subscribe. Sorry that it took so long to upload this video, but I really wanted to play with this character and understand the character and do a couple of runs till I really fully get the idea and how to build her and team compositions and everything and so forth, right? So I probably invested like 10 to 12 hours now into this character to really grasp how this character functions. One thing is actually worth mentioning, and that is her longsword slash, because this one, when you activate the inspiration, which is by drawing it out of the deck, costs one less. So it's a zero cost basic card. Usually when you try to build a deck for her, you want to rip off the rapid slash and the flowing parry. Those are the two worst cards from her deck, so you want to get rid of those. The longsword slash you actually want to keep because it just helps with damage, and by drawing it out of the deck, it just costs 0 mana, and it's like 0 mana does damage, so it's a good card. The two versions which in my opinion work the absolute best for her is basically the same as the standard one, but with the difference, if this card has inspiration, so you draw it out of the deck, you will get an additional attack card from her, so you're drawing two. So what's the difference between these two cards here? Well, here you draw two cards immediately, but you decrease the damage by 20%. It's a little bit too much, you don't want that. You rather want to have this one, or alternatively the rightmost card, which at the start of the next turn draw one attack card of this unit. So you draw one, and then when the next turn starts, you draw another card, and then inspiration effects are actually active because you pulled the card or the damage card because of this effect specifically. So these two are the best. Yes, you can also go for the retain card, but I like just drawing a little bit more, so that's why I prefer this one, even though you cannot go wrong with this, but these two options are really bad. Flash slash is actually her best card, or like her best DPS card in her deck. To be honest, you cannot go wrong with the majority of those epiphanies. I think one of the weaker options is the middle one, which gives you a +1 hit. For this card specifically, you want to look more into ways to make it cheaper, high damage output, okay? So those are the options you want to look at. The best options for this card is either the leftmost or the rightmost card, to be honest, because even though this card here is nice, which inspiration, it's like a 0 mana card, 222%, but you actually want to make this as hard hitting as possible, and depending on the build, you don't want to have it at 0 cost mana, but that's like whatever. But you actually want this card to hit hard, so you either go with this one, then you get the inspiration, so it's a 1 cost card, and actually you can find a divine epiphany for it to make it a 0 cost card. So this is one way to get it, or the rightmost card, because this has also very high damage multiplier with 363% damage, and every time you use that card it costs 1 less, so you get it to 0 cost. And this one also has a divine epiphany where you can get it 1 mana cheaper, so you get a 2 cost 363% AoE damage. With every single time you use that card, it gets cheaper, okay, until it goes to 0. So one of the auto options are the best for the flash slash, and the flash slash is a card you want to dupe, okay? This is a card you want to dupe because it is very powerful. If you can get it down to like 0 mana and then you dupe it and stuff like that, very strong card. Then we got the trickery strike. Either get the trickery strike with the retain and retrieve, 212% damage, activate inspiration for 1 random card of this unit. You activate it, trigger an inspiration, get it back, and then can use it again. This skill, by the way, hits actually very hard. Or the leftmost one, choose 1 card in this unit's hand, so you can choose if you have more than one. Activate inspiration effect. So this one is also very good if you find, I think I have one with divine epiphany where instead has 2 vulnerable debuffs which it puts on the enemy, which is also quite nice, and for 0 cost as well. Very strong. If you can get something like that, you just use it, spam it, do damage, activate an inspiration, and then debuff the opponent as well. Really helpful if you can get it for the divine one. So either one of these two options are really good. The other ones I don't recommend that much, because you actually And the middle card, I never would do the skill card. Activates all the inspiration in your hand, but it is so niche, you really never get to use it properly. Plus you lose the damage output from that card as well. It is not that great overall. And also the drawing an inspiration card from your deck is also not that great, to be honest, because you oftentimes run into the situation where you already have, like, because a new turn starts and you're drawing out the cards, right? You're already getting the cards, right? But the inspiration is not active because with the turn start you drew that card, so you cannot actually activate the inspiration. So this is why the trickery with the effect to activate inspiration effects is a lot better than drawing cards with inspiration effects. Either you go with, which is in my opinion also the best in slot, the 0 cost initiation, so, or outbreak of war effect. You start off having that card in the hand, you activate it right off the get-go, and every time you use a card from her with inspiration active, 6% damage to all enemies. This is a little bit stronger, but it doesn't have the 0 cost and you don't start with that card. Alternatively, the other effect you can use is the middle one if you're looking for more of like a bossing approach, single target damage. When using this card, activate inspiration, 130% damage to a random enemy. So this hits double as hard, but it's not AoE anymore. So because you already have a lot of AoE, you can then go with like a single target thingy hit just to hit harder, but this would also be great. Then we got the Iceberg Cleave, which has no activation. It deals just AoE damage, and with the inspiration it has plus hit, so it's a 2-hit AoE skill. Very good, very decent, and not her best in slot. As I said, it's the Flash. Like, her key cards overall are the Prepare to Subdue and Flash Slash. Those are the 2 key cards when it comes to her deck. Those are the cards you want to dupe depending on what you're trying to do. I will go into the deck building in a second. Then when it comes to her partner, Westmacott, the current rate up, this is the card you want to use in her. It just increases overall her damage. It's just designed for her. Also with the ego skill effect, which helps a lot by moving a card from the hand to the deck and then moving it back to trigger the inspirations. Really helps a lot. If you do not have that card or you're not planning to get that card, only alternative to that is Lillian. Lillian is a little bit subpar though, because you only have like 1 skill card, so you cannot actually max out the effect stacks because you can't get to 80%. You will maximum get to like 40% at max. But it's good that you have this effect that you can actually draw out one of her attack cards, so you can actually trigger the inspiration with the Lillian here. But for sure it's the Westmacott, which is her best in slot. Then when it comes to her potentials, you can activate basically all of her potentials really. This effect right here, because this one activates the inspiration effect for the basic card, which increases the cost by 1, makes it basically a 0 cost damage card. This one is important, and then this one as well to increase the damage of Flash Slash and Iceberg. Crit chance is actually the most important potential for her, because she otherwise has like a hard time to crit, so you make sure that you max out. Then when it comes to her best build, there are 2 builds you can do. Either you go with the crit damage attack build, and then ideally with what is it called, the Scarab for the basic attack damage increase optimally. But if you don't have it and you have to go broken, but because you have better substats, then do it like I did right here. And the alternative would be going with a 4-piece Conqueror set for 35% crit damage boost for 1-cost cards and below, with the crit damage set as off, so you go double crit damage basically. But you have to keep in mind that your deck has to be built in that way that it's like all your cards cost 1 cost, of course. So you want to have crit chance on slot 4. Slot 5 you can go with auto damage or attack percentage. That really depends on you and what you have, right? And slot 6 you also want to go with attack percentage. Now for a Manifest Ego, it really doesn't matter. I have her E1 here right now, which basically just makes Iceberg Cleave slightly stronger. It really doesn't change a thing about her, to be honest. She plays how she plays. And now let's talk about her save data, best build, how I have a couple, like, to be honest, there's not really a bad build for her. She's really that good because you can just go many different ways. But this one right here is my personal favorite for her, like hands down my favorite one. And here comes the thing. So when you're trying to build a deck with her, if you combo her with Cass, you only need one subdue. If you don't pair her with Cass, you do want to have two subdue because you want to draw out her own cards, okay? And you do want to get dupes of the flash slash. I have this one here where it's just with the damage output and with so slightly higher damage output and one cost cheaper. Then here's the retain one, as I said, retain retrieve, and then randomly trigger it. And then this one here, because I was testing it as well, the iceberg cleave. And then like very concise deck with the intellect, and then a very important key card which I have to recommend everybody who is playing her. It is ridiculous how strong the card is, and that is the forbidden card Ecstasy of Violence. It's a 9 cost AP card. Retain 150% damage times 4 when drawing by an ability cost of this card -1. Now this card, if you pair it with Yuki and then like for example Mika or whatever, you can actually get this 9 AP card down very quickly. Now if you combine it with Cass, like immediately turn 1 you can almost get it to 0 mana. Like I had turns where at turn 1 I got that to 0 cost, and that skill hits so damn hard. It hits really hard. It's insane how hard that hits, and it also has a retain. Like you will see in a second, but this card is ridiculously strong. So what I'm recommending is when you play the Lab Zero with Yuki, if you play her, fish specifically for this card. So if you have a run and this card pops up, pick it up and try to find like a very good deck. And I have that one very concise. I do have different setups here for example with like a double subdue effect with the flash slash here, which is basically cheaper but hits as hard as possible to draw out cards. And I also have another version here, for example, with a lot more cards. I have 2 subdue as well, 2 flash slash, then with the freezing blade with the initiation, and then I have another forbidden card which gives me draw 1+1 AP, which is also decent, which I like to play because it plays around this like a vulnerable build here with the trickery. It's a very decent build, but this is my personal favorite right now because when I play with Cass, I want to have my deck as concise as possible. So having just 7 cards, really strong. You will see it in a second. 2 or 3 combos I can recommend to you guys. The first one, which is ridiculously powerful, Yuki, Cass, Mika. This is the most consistent all gas no break combo, hands down best consistent all gas no breaks combo. Works perfectly fine. It's actually this Cass Mika combo with Yuki is actually the best Cass Mika combo I have played in this game so far. Absolutely fantastic. Then the alternative would be, instead of Mika, Ray, where you can use Mika in a separate team, right? This is the most damaging potential team combination. Okay, so this is the team setup where you get the most damage out with Yuki while playing into her entire mechanic. If you want to play a more balanced play style, Mika and Veronica. Okay, so Yuki, Mika, Veronica, that is the team I'm running actually when I'm doing my Lab Zero runs. It's very consistent, safe as well, and does also really good damage overall. But outside of that, you want to go 100%, you want to go with Cass. And then you want to either go with Mika for like an insane amount AP where you can just spam, or if you want to maximize the damage, then you go with Ray. I sadly don't have the ideal Ray build right now. I need to actually farm a Ray deck with like way less cards. 11 cards just blows it out of the water. I need to like a deck with these 4 cards to be gone, and just with these lower cards, this one also gone, and then having like also just 6 cards with her, and that's about it. I don't want to have more cards than that. Like 4 cards is all I need for Ray. I don't want to have more than that. But you know what, let me show you the Ray combination. So you have your Mika saved up different. I could show you the Mika combo as well, but I think the video will just be a little bit too long. Okay, now here you can see we have the Forbidden Ecstasy in hand right now. It costs 9 right now. Okay, so when we drop, for example, Rally right now to draw a card, it already got 1 cheaper. When you use Pop-Eyed Pepper, where you can choose actually which quest you want to take when you play Cass, to get a with Yuki, always pick full house, never pick straight, because with straight you run into the problem. You need to cast a 2-cost card and you really don't have any 2-cost card in deck, so never do that. Always pick up the full house because it's a card draw and also plays into the Forbidden Ecstasy card. For me it's just the Ecstasy build here basically. Then we activate the snag, draw more, and then you see 2 mana cheaper, and it just keeps going down. Now we draw another card. Now we can buff because it is whatever. And here we can activate this card here. Boom, boom. Deal a lot of... I'm not even trying. I actually want to show you a little bit more, right? I just don't want to like activate 2 cards and then, yeah, call it a day. But sometimes it looks like this. So here's the card we want to activate because that's one of our upgrade cards. And then we want to have the Resonating Darkness. This is also what I need to mention here. When you play with Ray, get this specific one. Plus 4% damage for cost 1 and below, because you do have some cards that are below 1 cost. So make sure you have this card activated. And then Giga Strong, Dark Condensation, activate this one. You don't need the moral buff for 1 turn. You can activate it on the Forbidden Ecstasy. Doesn't do anything right now because obviously when I end my turn this buff disappears, but you can throw it on the Forbidden Ecstasy one. Makes it a lot stronger. Now that we got a little bit more going on, this is so funny that when I showcase something, it's always a slow burner. But now here, this is where the magic actually happens usually. Also, it can happen in turn 1, like right off the get-go, first action, shuffle. Now you shuffle the entire deck, draw new, and now a lot of things happen. We're getting the full house, can draw 1 more card, and see this one here. This card is now 0 mana. We drew Flash Slash, costs only 1 mana. Trickery is also active in case we need it. We can do a lot of things. I could shuffle again, but you know, for showcase purposes, I do want to show you how much damage this card does on, for example, this opponent here. It's debuffed right now because they have that first stack, right? So minus 50%. So don't be surprised about the damage here. And we use this skill card here. Boom, boom, boom. Hit, hit, hit. And now let's use Trickery as well, because why not? So we got wave 1 cleared. Now we're going here into wave 2. Now we have a couple of options. So when you play with Cass and you have the Joker card, you want to use the Joker card to pull out the Subdue card. Why? So, and this is the cool thing. This is the cool thing why I said when you play Cass, you only need Subdue once in your deck, because you pull out the Subdue. Now the inspiration is triggered. You throw out 0 cost and you pull out 2 DPS cards from your deck. Now here, let's buff up our damage for moral, and we can draw another card here because we activated full house. Boom. And then we have this card here activated, and we can actually, you know what, let's use this one and buff up our Iceberg Cleave, and then we activate the Ray effect because we need 1 extra AP because we are running out of AP. And now here's the cool thing, right? This is what I mean also with the basic card, because we pulled it out 0 cost, 429%, right? Really good because of the moral one. See the damage here from a basic card, right? Basic card. So this is a good basic card actually, so you want to upgrade this. Now since I buffed up this card specifically, which I think is actually a mistake because now looking at it, I see the inspiration is not active. Yeah, classic me, I would say. But you know what? This one is active. So we use the Flash Slash and we hit just casually for like 7k damage here. And then we can end our turn. We could have hit harder with the Cleave just because of the buff I used before, which I just scooped. But you know what? It is what it is. Mistakes were made. Oh, what a classic move. But here, for example, you can just activate whatever card, like doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to see like, okay, what can I do here? But you can really speed up this process. Or here, for example, now I have the shuffle card, right? Let me shuffle the entire deck. Let me see what I can find here. Oh, I find my 0 cost basic card again. You know what? Let me hit this one. Boom, boom, because that's the follow-up with the upgrade card, right? That's the EI Jutsu, which is called the EI Jutsu. The upgrade card, that's why we're getting the second hit here. Really, really easy. The more I play with her, the more I actually like her. Now in this type of situation, we can do like 2 things or something. So as I said, I can either go and pull out the Subdue card with her just to draw all 2 other cards. So I can pull out this one And when I activate this, I will draw out Cleave and Longsword to activate the inspirations. Or what I can do is I can actually pull out Forbidden Ecstasy from my deck right now. It's a 0 cost card. And also, you know what else I have? I have Dark Condensation to boost the damage of the Ecstasy card. I can even draw one more if I find a boost buff. See, we found a buff. Moral. Now we got actually, wait, there we go. Now we got 6 stacks, 120% damage increase because of the moral buff. We boosted the damage of this card. This card is boosted by many different effects right now. We have the resonance effect, which is from the Nyx card. Then we also have the moral buff, right? And we also have the upgrade card from, I don't know why it's not displayed, but the Ray card, which we activated. Oh yeah, the Resonating Darkness card, this one as well. And we boosted the damage of this card, right? So many different card buffs going on. And then we do this, boom, 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 boom. Easy as that. Easy as that. And yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. I know this video is a lot longer than usually. Like I usually do them like 15 minutes, 13 minutes, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. This one was a little bit longer because I went more in depth about Yuki because I really start liking her. Now I need to make probably a dedicated video about should you pull or not, but I give you a short answer right here, right now. For those people who are watching, if you're watching this video at this point right now, you're a legend, and let me know in the comments as well. If you don't have a green DPS right now, go get her. If you have a green DPS right now, a very reliable green DPS, you can think about it, right? If you want or skip, that is up to you. It's not a must in that case, but if you don't have a green one, I highly recommend pulling her. That's about it. And yeah, guys, as always, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I really appreciate it, and see you with the next one. Deuces.